All right, welcome to the June garden tour here of our little fairy garden we have going on. Not so little. Okay, so directly here to our right we have an elderberry stand. So it's not just an elderberry tree or bush, it's an actual stand, meaning many of them together. It started out as one. We honestly didn't get it out soon enough, and here she is. So we kind of do a blend between allowing the garden to have some say in what happens, and then also, guiding things as well. So we do a blend of those things. So this is one of the things that I just said, you know what? She really is thriving here. She wants to be here. Let's let that happen. Maybe I'll regret it later. Who knows? She is getting quite large. But that's just one of the personality traits of the way I garden. I think everybody's got their own. This is Caraway. So she had these beautiful white flowers like that, and most of them are giving way to the seeds. And the seeds you can use for that beautiful like rye-like flavor. And it goes all the way down there. And the elderberry is about to flower. Okay. On this side we have, you can probably hear all the cicadas in the background. Chives, we've got asparagus fronting out and flowering. We've got the cicadas hanging out. They're everywhere. So for those of you who do not have cicadas in your area, it is wild, absolutely wild here. They're flying everywhere. They're everywhere. They don't seem to really be harming the plants. But look at that, yeah. Anyway, that's what we're experiencing here in Indiana. So we've got a fence put up here to, so here shortly I will be kind of tying up the asparagus a little bit that way. So you just yelled at me, you said, don't move me, because they will start to fall down like that. So, let's see, we've got some sunflowers that are going to pop up here. More asparagus. This is Ella Campaign that popped up here on her own, and I'm just letting, again, this is one I didn't plan for her to be here, but she's an amazing medicinal, and so I'm allowing her to do her thing, and here she goes. So we've got cucumber starting to grow up this trellis here. So we've got a trellis that kind of spans over this walkway. So we've got two trellises, so there they are flying. Okay, and so on both sides here we are growing cucumbers, and so they're going to go all the way over. We also just planted some beans to kind of intersperse the cucumbers, and there's some nasturtium in there too. This is an experimental area where I'm trying to grow some things I've never grown before. Chamomile I have grown before, so I've got her there, but then I've got bunny tails, millet that only germinated a little bit, so I went ahead and interplanted zinnia. Couple different types of poppies here. Trying rice for the first time. I found a type of rice that can grow right in the ground. We'll see. It's kind of stunted lately, so I don't know what's going on, but again, that's what we do. We experiment and learn. So not everything is a success in the garden for sure, but we'll see. I have high hopes. We are growing some wheat because my son Ezra wanted to do that. Here, yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Yeah. Here we've got blue Vervain. Again, not where I would have planted her, but this is where she wanted to be. And what I found is when you let a plant grow where the plant wants to grow, they tend to grow to really thrive. So blue Vervain is an amazing medicinal for stress and sleep, among other things, but she's really helpful for those things. So she'll get really tall and have these beautiful like blue cone-like flowers. This is our cilantro. We've harvested 3 times from this already, and I need to go in and do some more. I see that I have some weeding to do here as well. We have been gone for a week, so let's see. We've got this is green onion. I'm allowing to go to seed, so it's flowering and then it'll be seeding soon. Super pretty. We've got parsley, St. John's wort, lots of calendula. So all of this calendula that you see here, and this is my garden mess here. All of this I need to get picked up this week. All of this calendula that you see was self-seeded from last year, so none of that I had to plant myself. We also have some spilanthes, which is called the toothache plant, right here, growing her for the first time. And then we've got interspersed some rue as well. So trying out growing rue for the first time. Okay. We also have sweet Annie growing in some pots, so sweet wormwood or sweet Annie. Lots of weeding I need to do here. We have a lot of thistle that comes up. That's one of my challenges here, because right outside our gates we have woods everywhere, and so a lot of things try to keep kind of like encroaching in on the garden. So to grow in the woods has its benefits, and it also has its, challenges. So that's one of our challenges. But we sheet mulch here every year. Our volunteers help us sheet mulch, and to keep down the weeds and also just make beautiful paths. Here's another stand of elderberry right here in the middle of this area. We've got Tulsi interspersed in here, Calendula, peas growing here. Down below we've got corn, so the corn's going to start to grow up as the peas start to die down. We've got beans. Let's see, what do we have? Borage and zinnias that are going to come up here. We've got oat straw. There's some random dill growing there. So you can see that this is very kind of interspersed, wild, like it's not perfect rows. And part of it is my personality. Part of it is just the way it goes with, having such a large gardening space and being the only one, for the most part doing that, and doing other things like mothering and all that. You kind of have to let some things go, but it's really cool because I learn a lot about plants, new plants, by allowing things to grow that I've never seen before. Some of them turns out to be just complete, weeds that you don't want in the garden, and some of them turn out to be beautiful medicinal plants. That's happened many times here. So there's some nasturtium that will be flowering and hopefully climbing. Some of my cucumbers have gotten a little disease here, and I didn't get them treated well enough before I left on vacation. So I actually planted more cucumber here yesterday just by seed. So sometimes that happens. Okay, down here we've got chard and then basil down the middle. We've got beets, more beets here. We've got a blend of different types of kale, as well as kale going to flower here. Going to seed, so we can save the seeds. And a whole row here of peas. This we've got a lot of kale, baby kale, that I will be thinning out hopefully soon, so that they have more space to grow. So a lot of this is baby kale. It's called 1,000 head kale. Or wait, some of it's chard, and then some of it's baby kale. More beets on the sides there too. We mulched around a lot of this year for the first time, which has helped with some of the weeds, but weeds are just a thing for this garden. Okay, so this is all oregano. We've also got skullcap growing here. This is our, what are you? Leeks. This is a chickweed patch, which will be pulled out this fall. But it was a really fun experiment to see just how fast and how full it would get. It's gotten extremely full. It grew really fast, but we need the gardening space, and she grows so many other places. So anyway, it was a really fun one to test out. This is some peppers, some basil. We've got another kale here going to seed. I kind of tied her up to the fence so she didn't fall. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hit that little guy. See, they're everywhere. I hope you're all right. Sorry, buddy. I just harvested a ton of these peas yesterday, so. But anyway, these are peas, and then we've got carrots down below. More peas, see? Peas and carrots, peas and carrots. Peas and carrots. Okay, this bed we planted right before we left. Lots of different flowers, so they're just now starting to come up, so they'll be like a late summer bloom. Okay, over here we've got our garlic, and there is some onion, so these large ones are onion, but the rest of it's garlic. And I did harvest a good amount of these scapes, not all of them. Like here's a garlic scape, and so I'll be doing that soon so we can use it for pestos. And also it helps when you harvest the garlic scape, it helps the garlic to really put its energy back down and make really big, beautiful bulbs. The last couple of, it kind of makes it have a growth spurt a few weeks before you harvest. So this area is interesting. It's garlic, but I did leave some chard from last year because she overwintered, and so I let her grow so that she could go to seed, because I've never harvested chard seed before. So this is what that looks like. It's not quite there yet, but if you've never seen chard go to seed, there you go. We've got some calendula, or I'm sorry, not calendula, some chamomile growing, interspersed as well. There's a random nettle, because I like to use nettle, so I'm letting a couple of them grow in this bed. Look at that, beautiful. So that's what's going on here. Got my wheelbarrow I need to empty. All of this is thyme with some St. John's wort. We've got mugwort, we've got yarrow, we've got a few different things going on in this little herb garden. I'm not going to go out here today. That's our orchard, but here along the fence row you can see all of this white is valerian, which you use the root, but the flower is beautiful. The bees love it. We also have black raspberry growing along the fence. You can see the rose and the comfrey flowers. Yeah, so this is a really bustling area for the pollinators. Okay, this area is a work in progress for us, but we've got a few different types of herbs. We've got some pennyroyal, some lavender, we've got some cotton growing here. You can barely see. Pretty cotton, horseradish, and then we've got some squash. It's doing okay. I actually bought the starts. I didn't even start those myself. And then interspersed throughout here we've got sweet potato plants that I did start myself. And then beyond that we've got our strawberry beds covered. And wow, are they giving us a lot of strawberries. And I found that covering is really helpful in keeping the animals out. Even though some of them can kind of dig underneath there, it just deters them. And we've gotten a lot more strawberries even, just already. And it's just the strawberry season's just begun. So we'll probably harvest a couple more times. I just had a huge harvest. Okay. We've got 4 beds here, and I know I need to pick up this plastic. I just haven't done it. We were on vacation, and it's just been a busy time. But it is keeping the weeds down. But that is my goal in the next week, to get this laid out, dried out, and put up. So we've got, let's see, collards and onion growing here. We've got some random things growing in there too, and some weeding that I need to do for sure. Look at those beautiful collards. I need to get in there and harvest really soon. So basically we're growing a lot of this for the cafe, and so I wait until the cafe's like, all right, we need it, so I can bring it over really fresh. So we're waiting on the word from the cafe before I harvest these bigger leaves here. But I'll be doing that this week, it looks like. And then, of course, I harvest for the family as well. We definitely eat from this garden a lot. Okay, so we've got chard. We've got onion. Onions are looking really good. And then in here, a lot of what self-seeded from last year were this spinach. It's called strawberry spinach. I think it has another name, but I forget. But anyway, look how beautiful. So there's a lot of weeding to do, but that's just kind of ongoing. So, and then we've got some elderberries potted up here that we'll be selling sometime in the future. We've got greens. We just started harvesting these. We've got beans going down the middle, and this was a kind of greens mix, which is really fun. Some of it has already gone to seed, but there's kale and different types of lettuces in there, which is really cool. This one is crazy, needs to be completely, so what I'm going to do, we've got beans going down the middle. This is not a bean, this is, come out, buddy. we've got beans going down the middle here, and then we've got arugula that went to seed, so I'm going to pull out all this arugula because I have plenty of seeds, and add a little bit more soil, and then I'm going to go ahead and plant some kale down each of those rows there. Along our fence row here, we have tomato plants in buckets, and each one has a marigold flower just because I had them and I thought, why not? So some of them are kind of puny looking, but some of them are looking great. I have not really put any attention on these other than getting them potted and watered really well. It's been raining, so I'm just trusting that, and some of them are in potato bags. I'm trusting that the rain is taking care of them right now. See, this one does need, here we go, buddy. Okay. Oh, there's a cicada. They're everywhere. Okay. Yep, so we've got blueberries on the other side of this fence. You can see those all down here. And then lastly, this is our tomato and pepper bed here. We actually have a couple other things planted here. So we've got artichoke, which is a perennial. It's only in its first year, so it's not going to give us artichokes this year, but that's what this is. We've got some onion, and then we've also got tomatillos that seeded themselves, and I'm letting some of those just do their thing because we love tomatillos. And so again, another example of when I let some things just kind of do what they want. Because I could transplant them, but that will kind of set them back. So some of them I might pull out. These are all tomatillos. Some of them I might pull out, but like there's two here together, so I'll probably pull one out. But yeah. So, but they tend to work really well with the other, like the basil and the peppers and the tomatoes. They all kind of really like each other. So this will get nice and full. But yeah, we've got tomatoes growing up the side of these fences, which tends to work out pretty well. We tie them up there loosely so that they kind of stay growing upright. And we've got like a dill that kind of randomly wanted to grow here at the beginning of the row here. These are all tomatoes and peppers. Some beautiful basil. I know I've got peppers here somewhere I was going to show you. Oh yeah, here we go. There's more peps growing. So, oh, there go the cicadas, you hear them? And then we've got basil and dill growing along here. So, and these are really nice because we'll leave these up and you can grow anything that really needs support. You just leave these up and they kind of just make great supports for many plants like beans, peas, tomatoes, even flowers like sunflowers, zinnias that need a little support. So yeah, so that is the garden right now. And as you can see, a lot of our edges for our garden are from literal just wood from our woods, and every couple of years we need to replace it. Like this one's getting kind of breaking down, but the cool thing is as they break down, it nourishes the soil, and then sometimes we also get really cool mushrooms. So my daughter put soil in the bird bath. It's a little bird bath. Oh, radish flowers are so pretty. So random radish that grew, I just let it do its thing. So gorgeous. But that is our wild garden, you guys. So you see me posting a lot of pictures, but this is an actual tour of what it looks like right now in June. Very wild and also very abundant. So you can see out there is all woods. Look how lush that is. It's just like we are in some abundant times right now. I love this time of year. So it's a lot of like it's a lot of weeding. See this here? An animal came through last night probably and messed this up. But anyway, so this is starting to break down, but you can see how it's just breaking down into, it'll just totally nourish the soil. And then we'll just bring a new log in. No worries. So that is it. And we've got our outdoor kitchen back there, and all the rest of it is wooded land. So there's our garden tour. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. and I will see you soon. Bye!